Yo, what's
What's up? What's
going
up?
on? What's good? As y'all can see, we in our new little shindigs.
Little shindig.
We in our
You
new
see
little
us?
shindigs, man. We in our new little shindig. You know, we've been doing this for a little while
We
now.
have.
And
we
I
have.
said, you know what, man? I said we got to do something to separate the two.
We got to.
We got to do something to separate the two, so everybody know when we coming to them with a regular Relentless Purpose podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And when we coming at it with a TKO
Hey, there you
boxing
go.
edition, as you can see,
Hey,
we got the gloves hanging up in the back.
and the setup is completely different. If you haven't noticed, I like the setup.
Completely,
I like the
completely
setup.
different, man. We decided to go with the headset mics this time, man, instead of the more professional, I guess you could say, with the RPP, because boxing is more of a it's more of a down home.
Yeah.
Everybody get down, everybody watch it, everybody pay attention.
For sure.
You know, in the backyard, I know growing up how they used to get down in my house with the white parties, the Budweisers on the porch, you know what I'm saying? But so, we just had to come at you a little different today, man. But before we get started, of course, I am one of the hosts, Cam, your boy coming to you, man. I got my co-host with me.
Hey, this is your boy Miller, man, Coach Miller. Hey, and I'm excited to be here. We back.
Yes, sir. We back, man. I know we had been a lot going on, been a busy past 2 weeks for us.
Man, it has
for both us, brother, man. Especially last week, making that trip to Orlando with the guys, man. Week before that, man, that weekend was kind of crazy for you. Not so much as crazy for me, but it was still crazy in itself.
Oh yeah, back and forth between Dallas and San Antonio,
man. Especially that Saturday, Sunday was a doozy, boy.
For sure.
But man, since we just brought that up, man, just kind of. So that Saturday, the 29th.
Okay.
It was the 29th, right? TMB Promotions put on a big fight card. I want to say it was 10 fights, 10 fights.
I think it was 9. I think one got canceled.
One got canceled because they couldn't find an opponent. Everybody ducked him.
Yeah.
Put on a good show, man. At the Techport.
Yep.
Techport Arena here in San Antonio, man. So I guess, man, let's just kind of talk a little bit about that experience, man. Of you've been to fights before,
for sure.
I haven't been to any, like that here in town. I've been to fights before, of course, but I haven't been in town. But just kind of talk a little bit about how it was different than being media this time,
man. So being on a different side of the table, right? In that aspect, as go from fan to media, right? One, your attention to detail is going to be a little different.
Got to.
The way you move around is going to be a little different too, right? And so for me, it was the excitement of one. We knew, some of the guys on a different level going into it. We kind of followed 3 guys from the initial announcement of the fight up until fight night. So I think that was a little different. Kind of getting the background on some of those guys and watching their journey a little bit with training and stuff like that leading up to the fight. So for me, sitting on that side of the table was a little different. It makes you kind of look at the game in the sport of boxing a little different too, right? Because you're getting, front row coverage of what's going on, and so in that regard, like being on the media side was fun. It was fun because again, you're not going as a regular fan or a spectator. You're going as somebody that's like, all right, to do a job, right? And you like, hey, I know this about this fighter. I know this about this fighter. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't get a chance to go to the weigh-in, but we were there. What you call it?
Press conference.
The press conference. So yeah, going to the press conference and kind of feeling the energy. And y'all seen the video if you didn't, it's on YouTube. But that press conference was intense.
Yeah, for sure.
So you already knew based off of that it was going to be an intense night. It was going to be intense.
Well, man, I had a chance to go to the weigh-in and kind of just kind of really witness how weigh-in how it goes down, and the fans, and just kind of seeing the back and forth and the banter between the fighters and the energy between the fighters, and some of it now was pure hatred. Now, I'm not gonna lie, some of them was pure really don't like each other.
Absolutely.
But I think the best part for me, man, is starting to see that the groundwork we laying down, and people, acknowledging, stuff we trying to do, and people, asking where you are, and people knowing who we are, and other media outlets trying to do interviews, and you got other photographers and everybody coming through, man. And a big shout out to one of the fighters that we covered Mr. Austin A.B. Benson, man. Big shout out to my guy, man. He's done a lot for us, bro. He's spoken highly of us and what we're trying to do.
Solid dude.
And real respect, real recognize real, man. Just like I told him, man, from here on out, you family, dog. Everything you need for us that we can help. So, I mean, he even, hey, he gave me a pair of old gloves, man, for the decor. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's solid.
So I guess for our aspect, man, leading up into that fight, we were able to go inside the gym. I think we kind of briefly spoke on this, man. But what was your take on watching two of the three fighters that you spoke of, Corey Snapback Cad and Austin A.B. Benson? We had a chance to go in the gym and watch those guys work towards, fight night, towards going to war, right? So seeing all of that and then getting to the actual fight night, like, talk about a little bit of your appreciation level now for fighters and what and just really, because you got a chance to go inside the camp.
For sure.
Not many people get a chance to go inside of camp.
For sure.
And spend, 3 hours and see the whole duration of from, the strength and conditioning part to the bag work to the sparring. So just kind of talk a little bit about that.
Man, to be perfectly honest and transparent, man, as a father, right? Getting the opportunity, I'm gonna start with Snapback. Getting the opportunity to see him in preparation and his son being
right there with
him. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, Snapback got out of the ring to kind of go do what he was doing. His son jumped right in. You know what I'm saying? And he was warming up and he was doing what he was doing. And you know what I'm saying? So to see that, man, a father who dealt with some adversity, and his son being there as he's transitioning to the life that he is where he's at now, and to watch his son be there to witness his journey and him bringing his son along for the road and for the journey, man, it was amazing. That's amazing, man. So in regards to that, in regards to him, like seeing that, my appreciation for the sport and for that part of the journey was next level. You know what I mean? Man. That was next level. And then for AB, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of him being a first responder like myself, you know what I'm saying, and a father and a husband, you know what I'm saying, watching him and knowing the sacrifices he's making on a daily, and then still putting his body through that to be able to compete at a high level. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, much respect for those dudes, man. Much respect for him too. You know what I'm saying? Just it's, man, next level. Level.
Man, one thing I noticed, man, in this game of boxing, is it's kind of like that football mentality, man. Like, congratulations on your performance. Let's move on to the next one, man. Because these guys performed Saturday night and was back in the gym working again on Monday.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and for Snapback, now he's part of Team Combat League, which is basically city versus city.
Yeah.
And their first fight is coming up in Houston, I want to say next week.
Okay.
So, he had to really get right back into it. He took a controversial, loss.
Yeah, for sure.
We can say that, man. It was a good scrap either way. That was a good scrap. Congratulations, you know what I'm saying, to the winner. But it could have went either way.
For sure.
It's just all, leave up in the judge's hands, man. You never know.
Yeah.
But for a guy like him, man, to get right back to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Getting ready for this, for prepping for this. And then you got AB, who he was right back in the gym on Monday working on the fine, you know what I'm saying? The fine tune, just the footwork and the punch placement and working on conditioning and trying to maintain weight and instead of trying to drop weight.
Yeah.
Because AB has some things that lined up that's in the works, man.
For sure.
That are going to be huge for not only himself, but his family and just his boxing career in general.
For sure.
And with that being said, man, we can finally, I know a lot of people have seen it, man. We've been sitting on this news for a while, man. His stablemate, who he helps get ready, is Mr. Tyrell Two Real Herndon, who will be fighting Deontay Wilder June 27th in Wichita, Kansas, man. And
it's gonna be crazy.
We've been sitting on that for about
for a minute.
For a good minute, man. We couldn't tell nobody, couldn't say nothing. Out of respect to what Two Real had going on, man. That's not our business to tell.
For sure.
And gracious to him, man, that we got the clearance to come in and do the same thing with him, man. We got the clearance to come in and cover a training camp, watch him spar, watch him prepare, watch him get ready for a huge bout.
Huge.
He has, man.
Huge. Probably the biggest one of his career.
No doubt. No doubt. You know, a lot of people, man, a lot of casuals, they don't know boxers like that, but a name like Deontay Wilder, everybody knows because he was the face of heavyweight for years.
Yeah,
everybody knew, you know, that anytime Deontay fights, somebody lights was going out for the most part.
Hey, every time.
Somebody lights was going out for the most part, man. So for AB to fight and then, you know, to be in camp with him and help him get ready and also still at the same time prepare for his next bout that he has that's already lined up, but I won't say nothing on that because it hasn't been, you know what I'm saying, hasn't been announced or nothing like that, man. So that kind of me knowing exactly what they put in and kind of going through the strength conditioning part with him, even though I wasn't able to finish. Me knowing that part, I had respect for it, but to see like, okay, like you just put your body through,
man,
you know, 5-6 weeks of pure hell.
Yeah, hell, straight hell.
Yeah, we ain't got to sugarcoat it. Pure hell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To get to a bout.
Yeah.
And AB's was only 4 rounds and he knocked him out in the second.
Yeah.
So you did all that prep to get to this moment.
Mm-hmm.
You celebrated for the night.
Right back
at it on Monday, waiting for your next opportunity.
Yep.
I think that's what really stood out to me, man, was just the resiliency and the drive these guys have. Like, you can never be satisfied because you're only as good as your last performance.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You're only as good as your last performance, man. So definitely a huge shout out to everybody involved in that, man. But while we here, man, we might well talk about the big fight that's coming on tomorrow. Yeah,
that's tomorrow.
April 12th.
Yep.
We got Mr. Jaron Boots Ennis against
Boots.
Eimantas Stanionis.
I'm not even gonna butcher that name.
For those of y'all like, who is that?
Yeah.
He is a Lithuanian. For anybody that's unfamiliar with either one of these two, man. For a while, man, Boots was known as, I guess you could say, the boogeyman of 147. He really couldn't get the fights he was looking for, but at the time he was chasing Crawford and Spence,
for sure,
who were chasing each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like at that time, it is what it is.
Yeah.
He's chasing a couple other names. Keith Thurman, Sean Porter ended up retiring. Pacquiao ended up retiring.
Yep.
Not officially, but he hasn't fought. Ugas was, he ended up fighting Spence and got his eye dislocated. Looked like a cyclops. So tomorrow night, man, the big fight is a welterweight unification bout, man. So welterweight, for everybody that don't know, is fighting at 147.
Yep.
Right. So it's going down tomorrow in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The Hall of Fame, Boardwalk Hall.
That's gonna be a big one.
They expecting a packed crowd, man. I think it holds 10,000 or something like that, man.
It's gonna reach every bit of that.
Easy.
Yeah,
easy.
It's gonna reach every bit of that.
Especially with Boots being from Philly.
Yeah.
And Atlantic City might be 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's right there.
Yeah, if you driving the way most people drive, you get there in about 45 minutes, man. This bout, the main call will start tomorrow at 8 Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah.
It'll be on the Zone pay-per-view. For those of y'all that don't know what the Zone is, look on your Fire Stick. That's all I'm saying. I just threw that little nugget out there.
There you go. let me ask you this, man. Obviously, Boots has been in the game for a while.
Yes, sir. 33-0.
I'm just about to say
29 knockouts.
Yep. So he's been in the game for a while. His opponent, 9 knockouts, 15-0. Right. So he hasn't had it. He's had half the fights, a little less than half. Right. Man, what are you expecting to see tomorrow?
Now, I will say this now. Stanionis, yes, he kind of started later in the game, I guess you could say. But he was also an Olympian and all that stuff, man.
For sure.
So that's, but his issue was most of the time, the last 3 years, he's had multiple fights lined up. But they didn't happen due to injury or sickness, not on his part.
Yeah.
So this actually be his second fight in 3 years.
Okay. You
know what I'm saying? So his record is kind of deceiving. It's like, it looks like he's pulling a Keith Thurman, but he's not.
Right. Like, I mean, he's a WBA welterweight champion for a reason.
Yes, sir.
He got
strapped for a reason.
For sure. And this is his second time defending the title?
Yes, sir. This will be his second.
And so with Boots, IBF welterweight champion.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? His third time defending the title. So it's a lot more at stake, you know what I mean, with this fight between these guys.
Most definitely, because the welterweight division is always been known as the division in boxing.
Yeah.
It's always been known.
Anybody who watches boxing knows that.
It's always been known as the top division in boxing. So for you to just have multiple straps in that division alone, regardless of your opponents, regardless of how you got the belt. Because a lot of people are on Boots because Boots, email champion.
Yeah.
Basically, he was, they stripped Crawford because he went up to fight. You know what I'm saying? IBF stripped him. They gave it to Boots. Spence was, he lost him, but Boots was next man up. They gave strapped to Boots.
For sure.
Now, Boots, his last 2 fights, he hasn't looked the best.
Right.
To me, man, this could be a dangerous fight for Boots.
It could. Let me ask you this, though, too. So, I mean, there's a 3-year age gap with Boots being younger, but obviously Boots having more fights. Mm-hmm. Do you think that comes into play? I mean, he's 27. He's not old. And then his opponent is 30. So it's only a 3-year gap. So don't let me make it seem like he's 20 something and he in his 40s. But do you think the experience of having more fights and being a little younger is going to play a factor?
I can't really say that because most Europeans, they have so many amateur bouts, and they, you know what I'm saying, under their belt.
Under their belt.
Like you have like Lomachenko over 300 amateur bouts. You got people like Usyk.
Yeah.
And, and we know how they are. Both of them killers. You know what I'm saying? Both of them, Usyk and not Usyk. Usyk, he was undisputed heavyweight, but they stripped him. Mm-hmm. Lomachenko, man, in his prime, he was, pound for pound the greatest. He had a good 5-6 year run where he was that guy.
Yeah.
And he, his record wasn't the greatest professionally, but he had so many bouts as an amateur. You can't take away that experience.
No, that's a fact.
Because the amateur system is different.
That's a fact.
The amateur point system is a lot more high paced. You know what I'm saying? Like it's 3 rounds, let's get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got the score. So you got to be active.
Yeah.
So I can't really say the age difference is going to matter.
Okay.
Because most Europeans, even with a record like that, especially to have a strap and to be fighting on this stage, they got some substance to them.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Stanionis is a guy, he's not the most athletic.
Yeah.
He's got a chin.
Yeah.
And he is active. And when I say he's active, he is going to take some to give some.
Yeah.
Meaning he's going to take a few punches to fire some off.
For sure.
And Boots' problem, the last couple fights, man. Well, one of them, the guy was on his bike the whole fight, just kind of running around the ring. And Boots' last fight, he claimed he didn't get up mentally or excited for the fight because it was a rematch. It was a mandatory. Somebody he had already previously beat.
Yeah.
He wasn't looking forward to that fight. So that was, he said that was his, I'm not gonna say it's an excuse.
Yeah.
I get it. A lot of people don't want to rematch somebody you already
especially you already beat.
12, right. 12-0.
Yeah.
You don't want to see him again, and you know what I'm saying. You see him again within 3 years. Like, come on, dog, like this, like for what?
Yeah.
So if Boots comes in there looking for the knockout, it could turn very bad for him. Because Stanionis is a guy, man. Can you get him out of there? That has yet to be seen. He hasn't taken a loss.
Right.
Does he take punishment? Yes.
Okay.
But he is a guy who comes in shape. Stanionis, man, it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who's the bigger man in the ring when they finally step in the ring, because IBF title fights usually have a 10-pound rehydration clause limit.
Right.
Right. The only exception is for a unification bout, which this is.
Absolutely.
So there is no limit on the size that these guys might be in. Both of them weighed in, right under 147.
Okay.
They made weight. So it's no telling what the size they might be in when they get in the ring, tomorrow and scrap.
And that's north of 146?
What do you mean?
So you're saying they'll be more than 140? They could be potentially more than 146?
They might be 165. So when we say rehydration clause, for everybody that don't know, a rehydration clause, meaning you got to do whatever you got to do to get, if 147 pounds is the weight limit, you have to be at least 147.0 or less when you step on the scale at weigh-in. Now, IBF has a 10-pound limit, meaning you can be no bigger than 157 the next day when you weigh in before the fight. That's usually how IBF rocks,
for sure,
except for unification bouts. So these dudes can go back and eat a meal and drink some water, and put on the easy 12. 12 pounds. Facts. So it's no telling who is going to be the bigger guy.
Yeah,
and Stanionis has a body, man. He's built more like a safety.
Yeah.
So he has a frame that's going to put on some girth.
Yeah, for sure.
He going to put on some mass.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be interesting to see. That I think that's going to be a huge factor because if you're looking at pictures, man, I don't know if you had a chance to look at a couple of pictures. Boots looked a little weight drained.
Yeah,
he looked a little. He looked a little, say face sunken in, looking skin and bone, real frail.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He said this was his best camp. This is the first time. This is another reason I'm kind of I don't know, will you rehydrate the right way, because he had to bring in a nutritionist this time.
Yep.
This is the first time he's ever had a nutritionist. So that's telling me that your body is fighting you making 147.
For
so
sure.
It's no telling what he put himself through to get the 147. So now the key is going to be, are you rehydrating the right way?
Yeah. Instead of kind of like rushing and throwing it
yes.
on. I got my prediction.
Go ahead with it. Go with it.
I got Boots losing. Man.
Tell me about it. Is it a stoppage, a knockout, a decision? What we doing?
So I like it to go the distance, but I just think, like, you kind of like piggybacking off of what you said, right? Like, man, I feel like Boots kind of put his body through something that he's never really had to before.
He's not used to it.
You know what I'm saying? He's not really used to it. And again, like, man, how is he going to bounce back from what he put his body through between today and tomorrow? So for me, and in that aspect of it, like, man, I think he might lose.
I can see that. I can see that, man. I think if this fight was in Vegas or something like that, I could agree with you.
Okay.
I think the thing, because both of them
don't say because he at home.
That's the only reason. That crowd helps.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
That crowd helps. You fighting a guy who's coming from Lithuania, so he's not gonna this guy here. So he's not gonna have wrong one.
That crowd gonna come into play. So
he's not gonna have that crowd with him, man. So everybody's gonna be pretty much pro Boots.
Okay.
So anytime he get tired or he get wobbled, he get stunned, he get hurt. Now they might put that battery in his back. That hometown support. I mean, I know it's not hometown, but you down the road.
Yeah. No, facts.
That's like going from here to Cibolo with traffic.
Yeah.
That's how close it is. That's how close they are. So
I got you.
I don't see it being a knockout.
No.
I don't have it being a knockout. I honestly have it being a split decision. I'm not gonna say UD. I'm not gonna say unanimous.
Yeah.
I have it being a split. I think you're gonna have one judge who's gonna have some common sense.
Yep.
And they're gonna score how it should be scored.
For sure.
And then I think it's gonna be one judge that already got Boots up 2-0 on the card. Because you fighting, you know how it goes. Yep. You know how this boxing game goes.
Yeah.
And then I think it's gonna be another judge who's gonna see it, how they see it. But I think Boots might be underestimating Stanionis.
Yep.
I just don't see it being a knockout.
No, I don't see, again, like, I don't see a knockout. I see it definitely going the distance, right? But I can see that too.
For sure.
I can see that too. So it's gonna be interesting. Hey, like you said, check on your fire stick, man. Hey, don't miss this fight.
Man, we're gonna promote it the right way, man. They ain't giving us no money, but we'll help them out, man. Hey, it's on the Zone. If you don't have the app. So the only thing with the Zone is you're gonna have to subscribe, you have to get a subscription and then do the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So hey, do take what you want with that.
Yeah.
do what you may with that. That's all I'm saying.
Do what you will with that information.
Whatever you want to do with that information, that's on you, man. But nah, man, just quick rundown on the weekend, man. We had to get back in here and show y'all some love. I know my guy got something he got to get into, man. I'm tired myself, man. But as y'all can see, follow the socials.
Hey, follow the socials, man. And we know we've been a little busy, man, between what I'm saying, like both podcasts and things like that. But hey, we promise we coming back to you. We're coming back to you. So thank y'all for rocking with us, man. Thank y'all for bearing with us. And we're gonna continue to deliver. We're gonna continue to come to y'all like the way that we come to y'all.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And that's real and authentic, the best way we know how. So hey, there you go. Hey, I just discovered that today, so bear with me.
He new to the roadcaster, man. He's new to the roadcaster.
Hey, I am.
But man, go ahead.
Nah, man, just man, it's always good to get back in the studio.
For sure.
It is always good to get back in the studio, man, and talk about what we love, whether that's family, that's sports, that's, man, whatever, life, whatever. It's always good to be back in the booth, man.
And we like we promised y'all, man. We about to start coming with the guests.
We are.
We about to start coming with the guests, man.
For sure.
So don't be surprised when you cut the TV on one day and you look up. who is that new face? Don't worry, we're gonna tell you about them. We're gonna let them tell you about themselves and their experiences, man. Whether it be, just the regular RPP or it could be the TKO, man.
Yeah.
Just stay tuned to the YouTube, man.
For sure.
YouTube will tell you everything you need to know. X will alert you. IG will be making posts, man. All kind of different stuff, man.
For sure.
Stay on alert, man. We appreciate all y'all for tuning in.
For sure.
As always,
yes, sir.
Be relentless, walk in purpose. Relentless Purpose Podcast, TKO, baby.
And we out.